Today when I was out on the GS, the thing that kept going through my mind over and over again is this bike is a survivor. And it's not a show bike or a bike that's been in storage or in total restoration. It's just a survivor. Well, we got the early morning weather report. It's going to get hot by lunchtime, so we are going to get out of here super early. Get back early. I don't know what else Karen has for me to do, but the first thing of the day is get the bike pre-flighted, get out on the open road. Every day during the time that I get the bike ready, pre-flighted, and get it cleaned up a little bit and take care of all the chores around the yard and the farm and the fish and whatever, I never know what thought is going to come into my mind. And a lot of times something will just pop into my mind. And today, as I was cleaning up the bike, I was thinking 42 years, 80,000 miles, and you've survived it all. Now, a lot of things haven't survived. That's the problem. And some of my bikes, like the H2, and some of them that I'm sorry I sold, my 55 Chevy, my 66 Chevy too, the things that did not survive, my air coupe, but the Suzuki, this bike survived. And this is why I treasure it, clean it, polish it, take care of it, over-maintain it, do everything I possibly can to keep it in as nice condition as I can, and then most of all, get to ride it. So we're going to have lamb korma. Ooh, that looks good. Ooh, smells good too.
And pita bread with tzatziki.
Ooh, pita bread and tzatziki. I'll be thinking about during the ride. Time to get the bike ready. So there's a lot of different ways that things survive, and sometimes they're in, again, no good or bad. They all work. If you put them in storage, or in some cases display them, like some of the bikes that are in museums, they survive forever. But what's really difficult is to have a bike that you ride constantly, many years, and it still survives. And if you have a bike 42 years old and you're putting a lot of miles on it, you're riding it through winter and summer and sometimes getting caught in the rain, the answer to that, there's a very simple answer, is you've got to over-maintain it, or else it deteriorates one bolt at a time. And the problem is with a lot of older bikes, if you start to let them go little by little, then you lose interest in doing the maintenance and doing all of the polishing and cleaning, and it goes downhill, and then all of a sudden it goes downhill very fast. And what helps me is I have plenty of energy to maintain this bike, because I really want to have this bike right up to the very end. Another thing that fascinates me along the ride, there are several really old barns. This is the Kincaid barn, and you look at it and I'm wondering, is that a survivor? Has that been rebuilt, restored? Is it brand new? I don't know. The timber underneath it looks brand new. I don't know. I got to take some more pictures of that when somebody's around and can give me the little history of the barn there, something. It looks like a pretty cool little stopping point. Maybe next time we go on a group ride, we'll stop there and go sit under the barn and have a bagel or something. and see if they chase us out. But it is called the Kincaid Barn. Maybe it's on the internet, who knows? And always thinking about some of the bikes that did not survive, and I've sold them, traded them, whatever. And I look back and I think, probably made a mistake there. And this area has so many diverse back roads. Every one of them is different. They're everywhere. This is just, to me, a special area of the country right here. Oh, I just love going through some of these little populated areas. The roads, there's constant elevation change, constant turns in the road. There's almost no straightaways here, and this is beautiful. It's in the shade. It warmed up a little as the ride went by, but being in the shade, always nice on a hot day. And these twisty back roads, the GS just loves every minute of it. So this bike has survived 42 years, and to be honest, I always think of another funny thing. This is kind of a unique thing. I think of the old telephones with a wire on them, and how you'd grow up, you'd be 17, you buy a phone, and you'd die at 90, and you still had the same phone. Now, I don't know about motorcycles, but I know I still have the RD from 77. I still have this bike from 82. But I really always wonder, the newer bikes in my collection, the R1, the MT-09, they're loaded up with electronics. I don't know if 42 years from now, somebody's going to be restoring them and keeping them, and maybe motorcycling itself is going to evolve in a way we don't even know. It'll be all some totally different thing that I don't know, with wings or whatever. But anyway, it'll be fun if I live long enough to find out. And what I think is kind of sad, that a lot of the newer guys that get involved in motorcycling, the modern bikes are so absolutely beautiful and so safe with all the safety features and everything. But again, you've missed a part of motorcycling's history. These old bikes, and I don't go back far enough like Dale does into tank shifts and all kind of things, but I know, knowing the history of motorcycling and how it evolved, going to the museum, Motorcyclepedia, and by the way, that's still out on our channel if anybody wants to see, look up Motorcyclepedia. And it's the history of motorcycling, how it evolved. And that's why my collection, when I started it, I wanted one bike from every 10-year period, so I could experience the evolution of motorcycling over the years that I've been involved in it. Now, I know several people that I know well are actively looking to get a GS to add to their collection. They're getting harder and harder to find, but every once in a while you stumble upon a survivor. Now, Joe Padula found one, and he's done with his restoration. We've actually gone on rides with it, and it's absolutely beautiful. And next time we ride together, I'll be sure to get a lot of pictures. And I know I was sorry to hear that Scott missed out. He was chasing one down and somebody beat him to pulling the trigger. But Scott, there's more out there. You just got to be persistent. Now, I think this bike survived for a lot of reasons. It's just a bike that I don't think will ever go out of style. And the engines are absolutely bulletproof, 100,000 mile engines. And parts are still available, but they are getting harder and harder to find. But it's time to get back to the farm, get back to Karen's cooking, and pick the last of the tomatoes, whatever. We're coming up on the end of the farming season now. So what an absolute fabulous day. What a great ride. What a great ride to be on the GS. A true survivor. Now, and the thing, when all through this ride I was thinking, not everybody survives, not every bike survives. How many of my friends haven't survived? How many of the bikes I own haven't survived? This guy has survived. He's a survivor. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the like button if you did, and thank you so much for watching.